Daniel. Come on up. Daniel Kovari from Propertizer in Hungary. Thank you, Daniel.
Thank you.
The big green one.
Okay. Sziasztok. Dani vagyok. Valószínűleg... Hello everyone. My name is Daniel, co-founder of Propertizer. I'm with a team of real estate and technology experts. Exactly 1 year ago, I set out on a mission to find an investment property in my hometown, Budapest. Now, I thought for someone like me who not only understands the area really well, but has a background in finance and investment, this would be a breeze. I wanted to understand 3 things: where to invest, what type of property to buy, and what my return projections would look like. So on a lonely Sunday night, I fired up my laptop and I proudly closed it the next morning, having done my research only on one property. Now, how did that happen? Am I just insanely slow and somewhat dumb? Well, yes, but that wasn't the only thing holding me back, and let me show you why. The first resource I looked at were my local news outlets, but I quickly learned that these articles don't have the property level depth of information that I need in order to make an investment decision. Instead, what I learned from them is that the average yield on a long-term rental property is approximately 5%. So for my next resource, I looked at our National Statistical Office's research papers. And after I went through a few of them, I learned again that the average yield on a long-term rental property is approximately 5%. So for my third attempt, my last one, I was not playing around. I wanted the real deal at any cost. So I went to my local spiritual medium, my guide. She looked into her orb, she looked at me, and she said that the average yield on a long-term rental property is approximately 5%. Okay, so what does work? The only way you can get to real-time property-level income projections is by doing your own comparable analysis. However, I would highly advise you against doing that. First of all, you need to have a proper background in finance and real estate to be able to do it. And even if you have this background, it is still a painfully slow process. And before you can start the actual analysis, gathering the data is also really slow because there is a massive information overload. But this does work. With this, you can get to real-time property-level income projections. It's just a really, really painful process to do it, and it's 100% not user-friendly. But what if we could automate all these steps to get to the answer in a fraction of a time? What if the system could learn with each instance to give you better and better results? What if we could present it in such a simple and intuitive format that even people with zero, and I do mean zero prior financial knowledge, could understand it in seconds? And what if everything I just mentioned could be implemented into your portal with only one line of code? People come to your portal, they click on a listing, and they see in real time how much they could make on Airbnb, long-term rental, and property flipping. This is the vision that drove us to create Propertizer. Now, why do we think that this is the correct time for a partnership? Most real estate marketplaces have hit a saturation point, and there came an important question. How can these companies grow any further? And there seems to be 2 viable options. You can either venture into adjacent business lines. Imagine a mortgage bank offering property management services. It has nothing to do with the core business, but it's a nice add-on. Or instead, you can focus on the transaction process and give people the help they actually need. Imagine a property portal offering mortgage services. And there's a tectonic shift towards the second option. When people come to your portal, they're no longer just looking for listings. They're looking for insight and guidance, that they're making the best decision available to them. And by implementing our API into your portal, you ensure that your users will not have to go through the same awful steps as I did, because the answer will be right there on your portal. We are already working together with the 2nd largest portal in Hungary, and we're finalizing discussions with the 4th largest portal in Brazil, and would love to work with you as well. Now, I can see on my timer that I don't have too much time left, and there's only one more thing I would like to talk about, and that's because I can see that the investors are very, very confused that I've been up here for 5 minutes, and I haven't asked for money, not even once. I mean, clearly the rule is that as a startup, you ask for money every 5 minutes. I apologize. I have everything covered. I'm getting there right now. We are raising $2 million to scale up in strategic markets and to become the data platform for real estate. If you would like to get in contact with us or learn more, please feel free to scan in this QR code, and this will lead you right to my WhatsApp. Let's continue the conversation over there, and let's build the future of real estate together. Thank you.
Thank you, Daniel. Okay, judges.
I'll go, what stage are you at the moment?
Sorry?
What stage are you at, revenue-wise,
We just got
partner-wise?
out of private beta recently, and we're pre-revenue, but as I said, we're already working together with the second largest portal in Hungary. The finalization of the development will come very soon, but yeah, no money as of yet.
Okay.
So good pitch, well rehearsed. Good. In terms of the business model, you didn't cover that at all. So how do you make money?
Okay, so I didn't want to confuse everyone over here, but there's actually two parts of our software. One of them is the API. We charge based on API calls, basically. And the second part is that we have our own standalone software as well. If you go to propertizer.com, you can see it over there. And that looks a little bit different. And over there, we charge based on like monthly service.
So for consumers direct? So,
Yeah, for consumers and enterprises as well.
Okay. And then I noticed that I'd like for you to dive a bit deeper into the IP. So I noticed that this is the potential return in short-term rental, mid-term rental, or flipping.
Mm-hmm.
So talk to me about the unique IP that you've built, intellectual property, innovative tech that drives those three outcomes.
So I won't actually write the algorithms up there because then we would basically lose our whole business. But basically the other thing why we're really strong is that most companies like this, they need a lot of data to be able to learn and then spew out the answer for you. How our algorithm works is that you can use it with really, really small amount of data. So if you have like a smaller city that doesn't have the insane amount of Airbnbs, we can still give you the answer.
Okay, thank you, Daniel. I was wondering, okay, if I have a portal, what is it behind? I mean, why? I mean, I understand the technology, I understand what you're trying, what you're doing, etc. But if I'm a portal, why do you think I'm interested in showing that information in the portal?
I don't know if you would be interested as the portal, but I know your users would be.
No.
First of all,
as a user, maybe,
yeah.
but
I mean, your users are more important than the portal itself because that's where everything comes from. So why your users would be interested is because, well, if you're an investor, that's a no-brainer. But as well, if you're just going up there as a user,
that was my point. I mean,
yeah,
I totally understand if the user is an investor, no, because it makes a lot of sense. But if not, well, if I'm a portal, why would I pay for all the API calls, which means that I'm going to also pay for someone that really doesn't care about that information?
Because as a portal, you're trying to become an end-to-end portal, and you don't want your users to go elsewhere when they need an answer. And not only investors looked at these numbers, we actually have a survey on this. Even buyers who just want to buy somewhere and they want to understand, like, is this a good area, is this not? This is a feedback for them in that sense as well.
Have you tested, for example, like a click to get a report or something like that instead of just providing the information?
Sorry, I'm not sure. Like,
instead of
click to get a report from the portal?
Yes.
Oh, this is a much cleaner way to do it. And we've been in conversation with many, many more portals, as just I mentioned. These are the only two I can mention right now. And the feedback is that they want it to be as simple as possible because the core business has to stay intact. And you cannot portals don't want to do more in a sense that it can ruin the core business. So like clicking, going elsewhere, clicking, getting like other stuff that creates, pop-ups basically. And if you can just stay at the core business and have an add-on that is really simple but extremely useful, that's the best way for them.
I was asking in regards to the API calls. Is that like you have 100 viewers to view the same property, the property portal is not going to cache that information, so it's not per property, it's per viewer?
Okay, the cache question and can you save it and then how much the API will cost, that that depends on the partnership. But yeah, very good question.
because I mean, a lot of people are going to have a lot of time wasters looking at properties.
the
property porn.
Yeah,
but they
yeah,
will
and
never
I
intend to buy it.
really good question. I think the answer will be obvious. It depends on the situation.
Sure.
So if we, let's say we talk to a portal and we finalize the contract with like a really, really extremely low API calling price, then obviously like the cash can be saved, because then, you know, our business will die and we won't be here next year and we're enjoying
Sure.
it. So, you know, but you know, it depends.
That's cool. Yeah, I mean, I think also you'll have a lot of people who may have high-end properties, which they will include this in a package, but not include it for every property, that sort of thing.
Yeah, and just one more thing about it, including this in packages as well. That's what we do with agencies actually as well.
Cool.
Fantastic. Thank you. Thank you all, Fidja, and thank you, Daniel, for the presentation.